Hey everyone, so in today's video, I'm going to offer some advice to people who want to change their perception of kids into liking them if you're somebody who naturally is inclined to hate kids, despise them, and think that they're annoying. Let's face it, kids can be pretty annoying. For the longest time, I absolutely hated them. I didn't want anything to do with them. I never wanted to hang out with any kid. I really chose not to babysit, even though it makes you some pretty good money. It's not something that came natural to me and not something that I enjoyed doing, spending time with kids. I thought that they asked too many questions, they were too invasive with my personal space, and as an introvert, I just kind of liked being in my own bubble and liked low stimulating environments. And a kid, naturally, as they are very high stimulating. They're always high energy, moving around, doing this and that, like running from here, from point A to point B, and just like, oh, let me show you this game. Let me show, like asking you all these questions, and it can be really overwhelming. So I always use the narrative of me not being good with kids and me not liking kids as an excuse to not develop any bond with a kid. But this all changed when I developed a friendship with somebody, and she noticed that I wasn't spending any quality time with my cousin. My cousin is now 8, but up until he was 6, I really was not a presence in his life at all. I purposely neglected him because of the excuse that I had that I wasn't good with kids and that I didn't like kids. But she noticed this, and she noticed that every time that my cousin was around, we weren't spending any time together and that I treated him like a stranger. And so she was very nice about it, and she just kind of pointed out the obvious, like, hey, I noticed that you don't really have any relationship with your cousin, and every time he's around, you guys don't even talk to each other. What's up with that? And I said, well, I don't like kids. I hate kids. I don't like spending time with them. So I don't know. I'll just wait till he's older. And she's like, well, how are you showing up in his life, Erica? You're his cousin. Do you realize that? Do you realize how impressionable kids are at their age, and how much you are skewing his perception of life just by how you're reacting to him? I mean, Erica, we're so into self-development, and we realize childhood trauma plays a big part in how we are, and look at you potentially causing trauma in his life that he's going to grow up with. He's going to probably have trust issues. He's going to have maybe abandonment issues. I don't know, but you purposely not choosing to have a relationship with him all because of your selfish needs isn't really helping out the situation, his situation. Like, how bad would it be that because of your own selfish desires of not wanting to spend time with the kid because they're too annoying for you, that would lead to him potentially having trauma that could be irreversible? That's your blood. And she was really harsh with me, but I needed to hear that because it's true. Like, I started to feel very shameful and guilty about that, and I wanted to change immediately because, yeah, I am his cousin, and this whole time that wasn't a justifiable excuse to not have a relationship with him. But like I say, I still do sympathize with people who don't like kids because I used to be that person and I hated them, and it's just, they can be annoying. So I advise to you, if you're somebody who wants to grow a relationship with a kid and you have that feeling inside of you that you know it's wrong and you want to change for the better and see them in a good, positive light instead of a negative light, I advise you to start incorporating SMART goals into your life. Now, SMART goals work with career-related endeavors and just like all walks of life in general, but for the purpose of this video, let's just talk about it in terms of liking kids and changing your perception of them. So SMART, I forget what S stands for, but M stands for measurable, A, attainable, L, relevant, and T, timely. So these are the kind of goals you want to set when you're wanting to change your perception and develop a bond with a kid if a kid is a member of your family. So for my cousin, I was like, okay, you know what? He just got this dog, and there's a dog park that is right by the house that I used to grow up in, and 10 minutes from our new house. So every weekend for a month, I'm going to commit to taking him to the dog park. Now, M is measurable, right? I can measure this on a week-by-week basis. A, it's attainable because it's literally only asking one day out of the week, and even not a whole day, right? Just like a couple hours out of the week to set this. and make this happen are relevant, right? Because my values are family. And if I really truly value family, I gotta start showing it. So it's relevant to my values. T is timely, right? Because it's just a month. A month is all I'm asking for. It makes it even more attainable too, because, okay, if it's just like this month, 1 week for every month, right? 4 times that I have to take him to the dog park, I think I can do this. That's very easy to attain. It's not asking for a lot. And it's not gonna, if you set your goals too high and it's too big of a leap, then that's when you're not going to be able to achieve them, because it's too big of a leap. You have to take baby steps. So this goal was that necessary baby step that I needed to take and that I was able to fulfill in order to strengthen our bond. And sure enough, we started talking more, and we would go to the dog park, and it was something that he looked forward to. And now whenever I see him, instead of him like running away from me and not wanting to talk with me, because of how I like neglected him purposely, like he learned as a child, oh, okay, don't mess with her. And oh my gosh, I remember him even saying to my mom, like, I hate Erica. He literally said that once, I hate Erica, just because I wasn't a presence in his life. And he was very young when he said that. He was probably like 3 or 4. And I was like, oh my gosh, wow, like he hates me, and it's literally all my doing. But anyway, once we started having this routine, he looked forward to seeing me, and he was excited to see me and overjoyed to see me, and that brought me joy and brought me fulfillment. And once I started building this bond with him and taking him to the dog park, and it is something that I enjoy doing, so make sure it's also something you enjoy doing too, so that you can both meet in the middle. Once we started doing that, I realized that all along I hated kids because I hated myself. I hated the fact that in a lot of ways, I couldn't be a kid in my own life. I couldn't be carefree because I was so wrapped up in insecurities, limiting beliefs, and spending time with him. I realized how good it is and how freeing it is to spend time with a kid, because it makes you feel like a kid again. And I think kids are the best teachers in life. We spend all this life trying to develop and be better, and the best teachers are our former selves and the little guys running around all around us, kids. They're the only people in this life really that truly live in the moment, because they're not stressing about work or anything. Like, they are so invested in the present moment, and they find joy in everything. Any little thing, they're so overjoyed. And spending time with him, I learned, wow, I need to be more like this kid. And I wasn't, and that's why I hated kids. I hated that I couldn't be present in the moment. I hated that I was always like in my own head and, overthinking things, being too analytical. So he taught me a lot, and I'm very blessed that I had that friend that brought me back to reality and really told me how it was and did not sugarcoat anything, because I really needed that rude awakening, and I really needed that slap in the face. Anyway, I hope this video helps. And another technique is, when I wrote the SMART goal, I visualized us having a good time too. Visualization is also a good tactic to use when trying to grow out of the negative perception that you have with kids. So I hope this video brought some clarity, and I hope to see you in the next video.